Do you think the people around you wish the best for you? At some point in our lives, we all face times when everything we've worked hard for starts to fall apart right in front of us. During these tough times, filled with chaos and letdowns, the old wisdom of Stoicism can show us the way. In this video, by the time-tested advice, we're going to delve into how Stoic teachings not only help us deal with tough times, but also turn them into a chance for personal growth and lasting strength. Join us as we uncover the age-old tactics that can make your life more rewarding and balanced. Stick with us as we learn how to use these old tools in today's world, making sure that no matter what challenges come your way, you stay unshaken and strong. If you find the insights and conversations we share valuable, one easy and free way to support us is by clicking the subscribe button. Believe me, you'll want to watch every part of today's video, as each section helps piece together the puzzle of how to handle the complexities of human relationships using Stoic wisdom. Stoicism teaches us to pause rather than react immediately, to think about the meaning and truth behind words. Marcus Aurelius suggested responding to sharp comments with calmness and understanding, realizing that often these remarks tell us more about the person's own issues or jealous feelings than about us. When someone gives us a backhanded compliment, instead of getting upset or feeling down, we can see it as a chance to practice Stoic calm and thoughtfulness. We can wonder, why might this person say this? It's not just about excusing their behavior, but about keeping our own peace and deciding how external words impact our inner calm. As we become more aware of such interactions, we can also decide how to respond in the future. Epictetus taught that it's not what happens to us, but how we respond that counts. So if we find someone consistently gives us backhanded compliments, we might choose to share less with them or to calmly and clearly address their behavior. A barbed compliment is a challenge to our Stoic strengths, especially wisdom, justice, and courage. Wisdom to understand the real motive behind the words, justice to reply properly without bitterness, and courage to either confront the behavior or redefine our personal boundaries. These are people who appear very supportive when times are good, but disappear when things get tough. It's something many of us have experienced, but might not have fully understood without a Stoic viewpoint. Seneca believed that true friendship remains steady regardless of circumstances. He advised us to find friends who hold similar values and are committed to real, supportive relationships, not those based on what they can gain or surface-level successes. How should we deal with friends who are only there in good times? First, it's crucial to understand that everyone has their own journey and challenges, which may limit how much they can support us. Stoicism teaches us not to hold grudges, but to recognize and accept the limitations in how others can support us. However, this doesn't mean we should lower our expectations for close relationships. Rather, we should be more careful about who we let into our inner circle. Epictetus stressed the importance of being independent and not relying on others for our emotional health. By building a strong inner core of self-sufficiency, we protect ourselves from the unpredictable support of others. This doesn't mean we should cut ourselves off from people, but rather that we should find our main source of happiness and peace from within ourselves, not from the fleeting approval of fair-weather friends. Marcus Aurelius believed that the consistency between what people say and what they do reflects their true character and honesty. When there's a gap, it often shows hidden emotions like jealousy, disapproval, or dishonesty. When faced with inconsistent actions, Stoicism guides us not to rush to judgment but to watch and think. Why might there be a difference between this person's words and actions? Is this just a one-off, or is it a recurring behavior? Stoicism encourages us to ask these questions calmly and impartially, helping us respond thoughtfully instead of reacting on impulse. Epictetus would suggest we concentrate on what we can control in these situations, how we see things and how we react. If we notice inconsistency, we have the option to talk it out directly, to clear up any misunderstandings about the other person's real thoughts and intentions. Or we might choose to adjust what we expect from that relationship based on what we've observed, thus safeguarding our emotional health. Additionally, being aware of how we act towards others is just as important. Stoicism teaches us that being genuine in all our interactions not only makes our relationships stronger, but also helps us live up to the Stoic values of honesty and integrity. By making sure our actions and words match, we create a standard for our relationships and inspire others to be equally genuine with us. Imagine you've just hit a big milestone. Maybe you've gotten a promotion, finished a major project, or reached a personal goal. You share this excitement, hoping for support and happiness from others, but instead you get comments that downplay your achievement. Someone might say, "It's great you got promoted, but you were just lucky to be in the right place at the right time." Or, "Anyone could have done that if they had as much free time as you." These kinds of comments, which might seem minor to some, are actually meant to undercut the significance of your accomplishments. When someone tries to belittle your accomplishments, Stoicism encourages us to first consider the motive behind their words. Are they driven by feelings of insecurity or envy? Realizing this can guide us to react with understanding instead of getting defensive. Marcus Aurelius recommended treating others with compassion and patience, even when they are unkind. By responding thoughtfully and calmly, we not only keep our peace, but also demonstrate how to handle difficult situations gracefully. Additionally, Stoicism urges us to reaffirm our own values and the effort we've put into our achievements. Epictetus stressed that our true possession is our ability to think rationally and act on our principles. By concentrating on our own hard work and the honesty of our actions, rather than the varying opinions of others, we build our inner strength and resilience. In practice, when someone belittles your achievements, think about discussing it directly if the relationship is important enough. A calm, thoughtful talk about how their remarks affect you can sometimes improve understanding and prompt change. But remember to stick to Stoic principles. Our true strength comes from how we react, our inner peace, and our dedication to living right, no matter what others think. In life's journey, one of the tougher social situations we face is handling people who create trouble. These might be individuals who, possibly out of jealousy or their own personal struggles, spread negative vibes, start conflicts, or turn people against each other. Marcus Aurelius highlighted the importance of ignoring others' wrongdoings when possible, recognizing that everyone acts based on their understanding and moral standards. He advocated for a forgiving and understanding approach, acknowledging that those who stir trouble are often dealing with their own inner chaos. Nonetheless, comprehending does not equate to tolerating harmful actions. A Stoic idea from Epictetus tells us to focus on what we can control amid conflict. This involves managing how we react and interact. We can choose to stay out of gossip, not respond defensively to provocations, and avoid spreading more negativity. By doing this, we deny the seeds of discord the attention they need to flourish. The Stoic habit of reflection is essential. Regular self-checks help us make sure that our actions aren't accidentally fueling conflict. It also keeps us true to our values and committed to acting with virtue, no matter what's happening around us. When dealing with excessive praise, the Stoic approach involves a few steps. First, think about where it's coming from and why. Why is this person being overly complimentary? What might they be hoping to gain? This isn't about being cynical, but about looking at interactions with a critical eye. Seneca cautioned against allowing flattery to shape our view of ourselves, instead promoting a self-awareness that remains unaffected by outside approval. Secondly, when responding to flattery, do so with humility and steer the conversation elsewhere if needed. Politely acknowledge the compliment, but then quickly shift the focus back to practical or factual topics. This approach keeps the conversation grounded and shows that you're not influenced by excessive praise. Additionally, too much flattery can serve as a chance for self-improvement. Use it to examine your vulnerabilities. Are you easily influenced by compliments? Do they boost your ego in potentially unhealthy ways? Stoicism's emphasis on self-reflection can help ensure that your self-esteem and sense of achievement are based on your actions and virtues, not on what others say. Embracing a Stoic attitude when dealing with excessive flattery helps preserve your integrity and keeps your relationships genuine. It prevents others from exploiting your ego and encourages interactions founded on real respect and truth. This method not only keeps you emotionally stable, but also strengthens your relationships by building them on a basis of honesty and mutual respect. In life's journey, as we aim for personal and professional advancement, the support from our community, friends, family, and co-workers is priceless. Yet, there are moments when you might sense a reluctance or hesitation in others to celebrate your achievements. This can be lonely and confusing, especially when it comes from those you expect to support you. Marcus Aurelius taught that true contentment comes from knowing you have lived up to your own standards and efforts. When people seem unenthusiastic about your successes, it often reflects their own issues or insecurities, not a deficiency in you. Understanding this can help lessen feelings of resentment or bitterness. From a Stoic viewpoint, the right approach is to think about these reactions with empathy and distance. Why might someone be reluctant to celebrate your success? Often, their hesitation could be due to their own internal conflicts, envy, or personal challenges that make it hard for them to feel happy for you. Seneca advised that we should be patient and understanding with others, recognizing that everyone has their own journey and struggles. Directly discussing their hesitance can sometimes lead to better understanding and strengthen relationships. A kind conversation about your feelings may not only clear up misunderstandings, but also make others more aware of their actions and perhaps change their behavior in the future. Marcus Aurelius believed that encountering untrustworthy behavior in others is as expected as the wind blowing. He argued that getting upset about such natural occurrences is as useless as being angry with nature itself. Instead, we should concentrate on fulfilling our own responsibilities and manage breaches of trust calmly and with understanding. When we face broken promises, the Stoic method starts with managing our expectations. Epictetus taught that our upset usually comes from our reactions to events, not the events themselves. If we set our expectations knowing that we can only control our actions, we can better manage disappointments when others do not fulfill their promises. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to turn inward and build our own resilience. Rather than completely relying on others' promises, we should create backup plans and keep an emotional distance from outcomes that depend on external events. This doesn't mean we should always expect the worst, but we should be ready to adapt and be self-reliant, which lessens the effect of others' letdowns on our happiness. Dealing with unkept promises isn't just about lowering our expectations or bracing for disappointment. It also involves clear and assertive communication when commitments are not honored. Stoicism does not suggest passively accepting every wrong. Instead, it promotes handling issues in a practical way. Having a calm and logical conversation about the importance of dependability and the consequences of not keeping promises can sometimes change future actions, both for us and for those around us. This refers to people who tend to remember specific events, comments, or actions, especially negative ones, while ignoring others, particularly those that are positive or go against their own version of events. Marcus Aurelius believed that it's important to recognize that people's views often mirror their inner selves, shaped by their judgments, which are influenced by their experiences, fears, and desires. Therefore, if someone dwells only on the negatives, it might say more about their own personal challenges than about an accurate assessment of the situation. Seneca emphasized the value of forgiveness and letting go of anger to maintain inner peace. He suggested that by understanding the flaws of human nature, like unreliable memories and biased views, we can forgive more easily and lessen our own suffering. In practical terms, when you come across selective memory, a Stoic approach suggests you communicate openly and clarify things in a calm and logical way. It's useful to gently remind the person of the positive aspects or events they may have missed. This should be done not as a confrontation, but as a means to expand the story and deepen mutual understanding. Life's highs and lows are tough enough without the added difficulty of dealing with people who seem to revel in your setbacks. It's disheartening to think someone finds joy in your difficulties. Such behavior is not just painful, but also confusing. Stoicism teaches us that these reactions from others often mirror their own inner issues, insecurities, or flaws. Marcus Aurelius taught that we shouldn't be surprised when people behave in line with their character. Instead of responding with anger or bitterness, we should handle these situations with empathy and compassion. After all, taking pleasure in someone else's misfortune is often a sign of deep unhappiness in themselves. Epictetus taught the importance of focusing on what we can control. When someone takes pleasure in our troubles, we can manage how we interpret and respond to their actions. Stoicism advises us not to let our emotions depend on others' behaviors, but to find happiness and strength within ourselves. By keeping our composure and not letting such reactions upset our peace of mind, we practice our Stoic virtues. When you encounter someone who seems pleased by your difficulties, it might be helpful to talk to them directly if it feels safe and seems worthwhile. A calm, truthful discussion about how their responses affect you can sometimes improve understanding between you, or even make them think about their actions. When you sense an underlying sharpness in someone's words, think about addressing it directly, but with tact and calmness. Asking a simple question like, "What did you mean by that comment?" can help clarify what they really meant and open up the conversation. This method stays true to Stoic ideals by handling the issue without getting upset, promoting clear understanding, and possibly turning a negative exchange into a helpful conversation. In the path of personal and professional development, it's quite common to meet people who try to overshadow your achievements, either knowingly or unknowingly. These are people who might downplay your successes or subtly undermine the importance of your efforts. Such behavior can be very discouraging, especially when it comes from those close to you. Seneca's advice is valuable when dealing with jealousy and petty actions. He believed that the negativity from others often comes from their own insecurities and struggles. Realizing this can help you face these situations with kindness instead of bitterness. Instead of feeling undermined by their efforts to belittle you, see it as an opportunity to shine even brighter with modesty and strength. In practical terms, this might mean confronting the issue head-on if the relationship justifies it. A calm, measured discussion about how their remarks affect you can sometimes make the person aware of their actions and the consequences. This method is in line with Stoic values by tackling the problem without emotional upset, enhancing clarity, and possibly turning a negative situation into a positive conversation. Embracing a Stoic perspective helps you stay balanced and happy with your achievements despite others' attempts to overshadow them. By developing a strong sense of self based on your own values and successes, you ensure that your spirit isn't dampened by outside influences. This not only preserves your inner peace, but also strengthens your ability to pursue your goals with assurance and tenacity. Dealing with the intricacies of human relationships often means facing the harsh truth of conditional loyalty, where support and companionship are given not freely, but only when beneficial. This can appear as fair-weather friendships or professional connections that last only as long as there are advantages to be gained. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of being independent and finding happiness within ourselves instead of depending on the unreliable support of others. He advised that we should expect nothing from others, which protects our inner peace from being disturbed by unpredictable external events. Seneca, when addressing the issue of unreliable friends, suggested that true friendship is like a wise investment. We should invest in people who appreciate us for our personality and shared values, not for what we can give them materially. He advised that when we encounter fair-weather loyalty, we shouldn't be shocked or seek revenge, but calmly re-evaluate these relationships and our expectations from them. In practical terms, this involves building relationships with those who consistently offer genuine support and care. It includes having open and honest discussions about what we expect from each other in both personal and professional relationships. When faced with conditional loyalty, instead of feeling bitter or disappointed, see it as a chance to deepen your understanding of human behavior and to adjust your social circle so that it better matches your values and needs. We've explored various Stoic principles and how they can guide us in dealing with the challenges that arise in our relationships. But Stoicism isn't just about managing external conflicts. It also focuses on internal growth and stability. As we continue on this journey, let's discuss how these ancient teachings can help us cultivate inner peace and emotional resilience, even in the face of life's uncertainties. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is the concept of the dichotomy of control, a powerful idea introduced by Epictetus. He taught that some things are within our control, such as our actions, judgments, and responses, while other things are not, like the actions of others, the past, and the future. Understanding and accepting this can significantly reduce our frustration and increase our peace of mind. For example, if a friend fails to support us during a tough time, rather than getting upset, we can choose to focus on how we respond to that disappointment, perhaps by seeking support elsewhere or by strengthening our self-reliance. Another important Stoic practice is the cultivation of gratitude. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of appreciating what we have rather than focusing on what we lack. This mindset shift can transform our everyday experiences and relationships. By practicing gratitude, we focus on the positive aspects of our interactions and the people around us, which fosters a more supportive and encouraging environment. Each morning, try to list 3 things you are grateful for in your relationships. Perhaps the reliable friend who always listens, the colleague who consistently offers helpful feedback, or even the challenges that help you grow. Stoics also emphasize the practice of mindfulness, being present in the moment. This can help us in our interactions with others by allowing us to truly listen and engage without judgment or distraction. When we are fully present, we can better understand the intentions of others and respond with thoughtfulness and compassion. For instance, if someone shares a piece of advice, instead of quickly dismissing it, we can consider its value and the goodwill behind it. Lastly, let's talk about the Stoic commitment to personal integrity and virtue. Stoicism teaches that our true worth is determined not by external validations, but by our own character and actions. We should strive to be honest, just, courageous, and wise in all our dealings. When faced with ethical dilemmas in our relationships, we should ask ourselves, is this action aligned with my values? Am I treating others with respect and fairness? By consistently acting in accordance with our principles, we not only improve ourselves, but also inspire those around us to do the same. As we wrap up today's exploration of complex human relationships and the little signals that shape them, keep this in mind. The resilience you build inside is your most reliable navigator. Stoicism shows us how to meet life's hurdles with grace and smarts, nurturing connections that reflect our true self. Thanks for being with us at Time-Tested Advice. Your presence on this journey to insight and strength is priceless. If you gained something from today's episode, take a look at one of the recommended videos on your screen to dive deeper into the rich world of Stoicism. Let's keep discovering how to live not just calmly, but victoriously against challenges. And as always, until next time.